What's up, guys? Tundrum here. Today, I'm bringing you something a little different. It's still gonna deal with Marvel and DC stuff, but not quite. I thought I'd bring up something just a little bit different here and change the flavor just a tad bit because I was thinking last night, and I was in the middle of a project that I'm doing for you guys about Secret Wars, and I'll have that up hopefully sometime within the week because this is a project I've really been working on hard and really want to get out to you guys. I think you guys will enjoy it. But I started doing this project, and I got to thinking, there's a lot of talk between of Marvel and DC, and rightfully so. They're doing really well as far as sales and stuff like that, and all their comics and stuff like that. Movies, are big, and and rightfully so. Both of them deserve the recognition because they're really big on things right now. But I like to take a little bit of time and talk about Image. Now, the reason why I want to get in talking about Image right now is because, well, when us as comic fans, we tend to talk about Marvel and DC, the big two. But if you look at things lately with TV and comics and on all this stuff, Image has some things that have been going on, quite a long time as well, and in the present too. And it's sort of made me question, can we actually say the big three? Because Image has gotten a lot of great stuff out, in the past and in the present right now that has really, done wonders. So when you think about Image, most of you would probably think The Walking Dead, right? Because it's hugely popular right now. It's got the TV show. The books are amazing, and they're a great read, and they continually are a great read by Robert Kirkman, and it's one of the things you think of when you think of Image. You think, oh, Image, Walking Dead. That's goes synonymous pretty much synonymous right now, because like I said, the TV show and the comics that pretty much go hand in hand right now. But if you grew up in the 90s, like I did, I was an 80s kid, and in the teens, I grew up in the 90s. You when you thought of Image, you pretty much only thought of one character, and that was really huge in the 90s. And that one character was Todd McFarlane's Spawn. And believe it or not, guys, those of you that have only been around comics for a little while, Image Comics produce superhero type comics. They produced Spawn, which was basically an anti-hero, and Todd McFarlane basically bringing something more dark and more sinister into the world of comics, something more along the lines of more adult themed stuff, and which was almost unheard of back then, and really sort of sparked the evolution of what Image is today. It's really not meant for kids. It's more for an adult entertainment. It has some more adult themes and more real world themes, to be honest. And it just spawned this whole new way of thinking of comics. Like I said, they had they were hero based. They had heroes like Savage Dragon, Youngblood. They had all kinds of great heroes. Wildcats. They had Wildcats, I believe, and yeah, it was a great stuff. It was really really good times, and their comics, Spawn and Savage Dragon, their comics had some very very dark and very adult themes there. They were not for kids. They did use swear words a lot. They, in the TV show, for the Spawn TV show, there was nudity involved. There was murder involved. There's all kinds of stuff, but it got adults back into it, into the world of comics. Then the 90s disappeared, and so did Image Comics, because there wasn't really a lot going on with Image Comics, and they're basically were trapping onto the old superhero tropes and stuff like that, and more adults kind of got, I don't want to say tired of it, but they kind of got like, well, they're going back to this stuff. Then The Walking Dead happened. Robert Kirkman happened. He brought us this whole new universe where, okay, there's no superheroes. They're just people, and they're in a fantastical world where the dead walk, and it's not just a horror movie. It's horror reality, almost, basically, as you can say, and people tune in every for a season every Sunday watching this, and people got hooked, and people thought, oh wow, this is amazing. The books are amazing, and this is great. So this was a big step for Image, and so now you see Image put out more books. Now they're putting out more amazing books. You see people all the time on forums and stuff like that talk about all these great books like Saga, The Wicked and the Divine, East of West, all these other great stories that aren't necessarily superhero stories. They're just really great stories. They're just really well told. A lot of time the art is really well done, and it's also more adult themed. You see, for crowds like me, into our 30s and our 40s, we like the adult stuff because we are adults. We are people who have matured along with the comic industry. That's not to say though that I still love my superheroes. I still love them. But I think for a lot of us, we tend to not say get tired of it, but we want to take a break from it. Even though it's really fun to have spirited discussions about who would win, Batman or Captain America, Thor and Superman, Wonder Woman and Rogue, or just anything like that, or Hawkeye and Green Arrow. It's just fun to go like that. But even for hardcore superhero fans like myself, I'd like to take a break every once in a while. I'd like to take a break and sort of refresh and go back and look at something different for a while. Read a different story that just wows me. That this is a really great story. This was really well done. And it's not to say that the X-Men don't have great stories, which they do. They can have great. I mean, heck, Days of Future Past was one of the staple greats of all time. That doesn't mean they have great stories. Death of Wolverine was a great story, and it doesn't mean that superhero stories cannot have great stories. It's just that with all the popularity of stuff they have right now, fans like myself, I don't want to say we get burnt out, but we like I said, we want to take a break and look at something different for a little bit. And I think that's what Image is providing us right now. Image is sort of providing us, we know you like your superhero stories. We know you like your X-Men, your Justice League, your Avengers, and all this. And, that's fine. But I think what Image is saying, here you guys, we're going to provide you with these great stories. And not only that, a lot of your favorite comic writers like Jonathan Hickman, Ryan K. Vaughan, all these other great writers, Matt Fraction, all these great writers and artists are here too. We like them too, but we wanted them to tell stories that they want to tell. Because let's be honest, DC and Marvel want to tell their stories most of the time, and writers for those groups don't always necessarily get to tell their story that they want, which is kind of sad, but it's true. And Image is saying, hey, if you want to write a story about zombies, go for it. Go for it. But that doesn't necessarily say that, it's all bad with Marvel and DC. I mean, with Marvel, in fact, they got Angela from Image Comics, which, that's part of their universe now. So, I mean, that's not all bad, but you also see, Marvel sort of, and DC too, sort of mix with them a little bit. They're like, hey, we're willing to work with you with our artists, with our writers and stuff like that, and that's great because Robert Kirkman, if you guys remember, came back and wrote Marvel Zombies. So, all basically what I'm saying is that, the big two really shouldn't be called the big two now. It should be called the big three because right now, Image is getting a lot of exposure with their books, their comics, their TV shows, and it's just a great time. It's just a really good time right now for Image, and I'm glad to see that. So, like I said, I'm doing a project right now with Secret Wars, and I'm hoping this comes out great. I really am working on this hard, and I really want this to pan out. So, be on the lookout for that. What do you guys think about Image Comics, guys? Do you guys think they should be considered part of the bigger upper echelon comics right now? I think so. I love The Walking Dead. I have not read Saga, but I am getting the Saga hardcover soon. Also, like the Wicked and Divine, I heard that was great, and so let me guys, what you guys think? Have you guys read any of those comics? Let me know in the comments below.